All right. What's going on, everybody? This is round two, trying to get the live stream to work, but it looks like it might be up and running. So let me pop out the chat. If you are hearing these words live, do me a favor, jump in the chat. Let me know we're good to go. But I'm going to move forward with this one because I actually see my preview. So that's a major step forward from this morning. So I'll go ahead and get this thing started. Let's go.
Like a boss.
Live from the USA, helping you get paid every day. This is the boss of Bitcoin, the Cristo of crypto. It's your boy BK, and if you don't like me, you must not like money. Today we are trying to get this live stream to work. One of the things I've been working on behind the scenes is setting up these live stream capabilities, but it's like I literally have to go in and kind of redo this for the first time again. And there we go. That's the screen I wanted. This is the thumbnail that we'll be talking about. Crypto market update. And it looks like we're good. I mean, we have all of 2 listeners, so that's kind of cool. Alright, so one of the things I want to try to do for you guys is a crypto market update, and this is basically going to be running through the top 20 altcoins that I see in the market, and going through and seeing where the different buying opportunities may be. If you don't know, I also give away free Bitcoin every single Friday. Every video I leave is a new chance to win. So if you want to win some free BTC, just jump into the comment section and shout out your city. Let me know where in the world you're tuning in from, and a new winner will be selected on Friday. So let's jump into the chart. So this is BTC to the USD. Tim Payne, can you hear me okay? Like, is it lagging? Could you see the video good? I need to decide like if I need faster internet. It's saying the bit rate is still lower. I don't know. It's good. All right. I'm going to trust it. I don't have no VPN on. I think that's what it was before. I had a VPN running, and it was just lagging everything. But if you guys say it's fine, well, I most certainly do appreciate you guys for chiming in. So this is Bitcoin. You're using a different mic. No, not to my knowledge. There's a Rode microphone. Maybe the audio isn't running through. Is the audio messed up? Because that could easily be the case. So let's see if what's going on with my OBS. Because the mic should be good. The mic is the same. There it goes. Let me see. But if it for some reason is not if it's using like my screen, no, it says it's the Rode microphone. So this one's good. It should be fine, hopefully. Okay, let's jump into it. But yeah, if you notice anything glitchy, just let me know and I'll try to fix it on the fly. It's all good. All right, so this is Bitcoin's chart, right? It's a very, very, very simple chart. The cool thing about Bitcoin that kind of got me evidence that this stuff actually worked is this was its first cycle. And this is really, if you want to get up under the hood of this thing, this is why I started preaching the boss method when I saw that you could really triangulate past, present, and future through the polarity of intersections. One intersection goes up, one intersection goes down. You tie into those pivots and boom, it tells a story. And the rest of the chart aligns to it. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I think it has a lot to do with the numerology of, 7 and 11. And that kind of being the cornerstone for this methodology. I'll probably end up doing a little bit more dissertation on talking about, the psychology of the boss method and how to use it effectively. I just haven't done that recently. I think because I'm trying to build, formalized discussion within one of the platforms. That way you guys can actually, engage in the content as opposed to me just repeating myself for 10 or 20 minutes every video that I do. I used to do that. And, as a result, my videos were like an hour and a half long. Now, I try to keep my videos under 20, 25 minutes. I found it a sweet spot. I really don't have too many videos less than 15 minutes, only unless it's just like a one topic deal and I'm just jumping in a chart or giving a news article. But, I think with some of these live streams, they do tend to go a little bit longer. And I think that's because we do have an active community and I'm responding to you guys. And, we're kind of learning this stuff together. Like, this stuff didn't exist, before I started talking about it. So, I think it's a creation, a communal creation. But one thing's for certain, it does work. And so these are the two intersections that we're tying into. Break out and break down from the early part of 2017, stretch our Fibonacci out, and we see that this was our natural capstone. That's the 4.2 to the 4.6. That's basically where the energy stretches as far as it would naturally like to, and it has to compress back down, right? Now, this was kind of our first cycle, right? So from here to here is basically where we, that didn't do what I wanted. From there to there is basically where we look to figure out where we were in the past. So that's one, that gives us two. But from the two of those, we start to get three. And basically 3 comes where 1 ends. So if we take these off, this point is our first point for our next cycle, right? And because we're still in between cycles, this is basically a low to low. So we go here to here. And that's basically inferring the 2 cycles coexisting together and telling the same story. And this becomes our natural extension. The 4.2 to the 4.6 has basically capstoned up here. But you can almost start to see like these different bands and these different levels of strata, horizontal strata this time, built into this chart. It's going to be very, 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 very difficult for Bitcoin to go lower, I think, than 49,000. It would have to be a major sell-off. I'm talking about mass market hysteria. You got Wall Street selling off 10, 20%. That could probably push it down lower. But we have a unique scenario, I think, where the long-term money, this gray moving average, that solid gray area, has been running hot for the better part of a year. Since basically early 2024. People forget Bitcoin was still, 30,000 come January 1st, 2024, right? 37, 39,000 right up in there. And if you go a year before, it was down to 16, right? So it 4x'd in 2 years. And the whales have responded very, very, very optimistically. Now, when I'm looking at this chart, one thing is similar over here, where the whales responded, the market sold off. The whales bought it up for a minute, but once the whales start selling, that's when you have about 18 months of downtime. And we just had, in my mind, like, I know I'm looking at this chart now and it say this is like a 2-year rally, but in my mind, I feel like we just had that sell-off. Like, that was 22, 23. It's 24, about to be 25. So, yeah, I guess, I would look for this thing to pop up again and do a double tap, kind of like how we did here, where you kind of get like a nice little double top up here. If that happens, then we can start to look at some extension play for new Fibonacci levels. Probably going to be, I don't even think we get enough right there. Yeah, that's basically telling the same story that we're already telling right now. But you see, when we do that one, we get this line up here as our green support line. And that's what's basically holding Bitcoin up right now, is the fact that you have a lot of buyers, that are getting in at that 54,000 level. So the key prices are 54,000, 49,000. You got a swing zone between 45 and 43. I really don't see it, which means if it sells under 50, it will probably go down to that swing zone spot and buy back up. It just dips down there and comes right back to the next level. That's normally what happens. Everything I read is talking about how the whales have been accumulating Bitcoin and they're not letting it go. So I don't necessarily see them selling it, like they did in 2022, because it's a lot more of them buying it now. And it's such a finite commodity. At some point it has to go down, I understand that, but I'm just trying to think of what other macroeconomic forces could we have that contribute to that downfall. And that's what I'm really looking at, because I don't think Bitcoin is just going to go down on its own. At some point, we're going to have a point in time where Bitcoin goes up and the rest of the world goes down, right? That hasn't happened yet. But until it does, it is tied to the other assets and the valuation of the other assets, because to be honest, like, the crypto economy only represents 2% of the world. The total GDP, I think we got $2 trillion in there right now. That might be 1%, probably like 1.2%, something like that. So if you look at just the GDP of the world and how much money flows through all of the financial vehicles available and accessible, even if you get into derivatives, you got like quadrillions of dollars, hedging on derivatives, betting ups and downs and intrinsic predictions on Wall Street. So, I think this is really just kind of like a pivotal moment to where we see, is the market ready to stand on its own? Can it break 100K, with Wall Street sitting sideways and political affairs, taking place? I doubt it. But that's what we're here to witness, to observe, and to participate. So I think it's pretty cool to see. Now, let's jump through the rest of the coins. This is Ethereum. Ethereum is like an anchor, you know what I'm saying? Sinking you to, that's the Titanic, boy. Sinking you to the bottom of the ocean. Anybody that's willing to stay on board, that's the view you got. You go see up from that bottom of the Atlantic, you know what I'm saying? Holding Ethereum the last of your days. Like, this is why we use the boss method, number one. So you don't have to take losses like this, like just on a simple chart. And and Ethereum has some pretty clean levels too, but it's just destroying everything right now. Just on a simple two-man game. Let's go. How do we even? Yeah, let's do this. Turn that one off. On a two-man game, 77 under the 231. Right here. And this is the macro money. Like this, you can see these are like months apart from each other. But essentially, these show you like the macroeconomic shifts in the market, right? These are the biggest moving averages you need to concern yourself with. And this is when the chart got hot, right here. When that moving average came back on top, it went up a significant amount, about 60%, I would say. Nope, 120%. I was close. And that's on Bitcoin. So it ran pretty good back in 21. But since then, I feel like they've done something. I know, I think they're saying that it's inflationary at this point, or that F doesn't have value because they just keep making more. Yusef, what's up? Ha! How you doing, man? Hey, if you ever in Atlanta and you need to look clean, y'all need to check out my dude Yusef. Put your Instagram in the chat so I could throw your page up here. My man used to hook me up on ATL when I was down there. Yeah, man, I'm just trying to build this channel back, dog. It's like, it's gonna take a process, but anything worth having is worth working for. So That's what I'll be doing. Probably doing a live stream every day, for the next few months, just to get the algorithm working in my favor again, and we go keep it on wheels, right? But this was kind of like the big sell signal, especially when you have a sell-off right there. When this thing was already net negative and you kind of go below this local low right here, and even right there, like if you wanted to be all the way optimistic for Ethereum, you could have said, okay, when it sells below that point, then I'll get out. But at some point, you just have to call it. And using the boss method, like this is one of the things we do avoid. We do not take extended losses over time. We let the market take that loss. And we come back in when this thing is ready to pop. And it's been some coins that we have mentioned on this channel that have made money, since the time that we've mentioned them. So that's one of the things I try to do is, and then when you're talking about families and people that don't really know, much about crypto, the only thing they care about is if I buy it, will it make money? And so using the boss method, that's what statistically we give you the best probability to be successful. When all three of those moving averages are going in the right direction at the right time, boom, put your money down, tell the market, let the market tell you wrong. 9 out of 10 times that ain't gonna happen. Actually, it's like 82, 84%, it's not gonna happen. You got like a 16% chance to where it might just flip or do something funny, or you get the candle selling off even though they selling against the trend. That happens from time to time, but round it up 85%. What's that? 7 out of 8 times you're gonna be good. It's gonna tell the truth. It's gonna continue doing what it's expected to do. And I think a lot of this is really just prime numerology. So Ethereum, for all intents and purposes, is dead at the moment. I don't know what's gonna revive it. Maybe they need to fork it, clone it. I don't know. Get a president to advocate for it. Like I have no idea, but to be honest, I don't care. Like it's not my concern what singularity event caused Ethereum to sell off. I couldn't care less. Like all I know is the chart's not making money, so it's irrelevant. Like, keep it moving. If it ain't paying, it ain't staying. Binance is looking a lot better though, right? And this is very similar to what Bitcoin is doing right now, to where it had a big run on top of the average, is starting to sell off, and now you have a scenario where the long-term money is coming in contact with the short and the medium-term money. And that's really what you're looking at. It's like 1, 2, 3. The white is the quick money. Those are the day traders. The blue are the hedge fund managers as intermediate players. And the white-gray average is the institution. These are the whales, billionaires, right? And they're coming to a synoptic merge all together. So this is an interesting chart. Normally, this type of pattern is a continuation pattern. It's like a staircase pattern where it steps up, comes down, compresses together, steps up again. I think Dogecoin has done this quite a few times to where it'll come together and it's literally like a staircase, I would have liked to see if that was going to happen. I would have liked to see that band stay right up in there, because then it's just a huge concentration. I think with this sell-off, going down into the average like that, it's probably going to take some time, right? Because now you have to buy back the trend with time. That's basically where we're going. We're going down here. So it's probably going to keep constricting, keep selling, and then it has to go flat, right? So I tell you, it's 3 parts to any given cycle. Break out, break down, and then it has to go flat. And as long as it doesn't sell below, I would say right around here, as long as it doesn't sell off below, oh, that's market cap. Why does that say Binance? BNB, does that say Binance market cap? Oh man, I wanted BNB BTC. I don't know what that is. All right, disregard that. Sorry about that. Binance still looks better than Ethereum though, right? Okay, this is actually a better trend because you see it steps and sits, right? Normally when it steps up and it sits down like that in that tight little band, you get the whales coming in behind it and they push it higher. I don't know what that BNB was. I think that was BNB liquidity. Like, nobody cares about that right now, right? And keep in mind, this is Bitcoin, right? We are always measuring our trades in BTC when BTC is up and to the right. And I just showed you on that last chart, Bitcoin has 4x'd in the past 2 years. That means we want to accumulate as much Bitcoin as fast as possible. The way you do that, you measure the altcoin to Bitcoin. When that trend is going up and to the right, you are winning free Bitcoin compliments of the market, right? We have many, many, many different economies of scale now. This is an interesting one, Solana. That's not the whole chart though, is it? It's forming like a huge cup and handle pattern. I like Solana a lot. I think it kind of picked up where Litecoin fell off. Like if you look at what they're designed to do, Litecoin was basically talking about replacing the Visa network and doing all these amazing things. And then Charlie Lee sold all his Litecoin and became an ambassador for the United Nations. And next thing you know, he's shaking hands with the Duchess of Wales, and Litecoin is down 95%. It's crazy. It's crazy how that happens. It's crazy how it's even legal. But nonetheless, here we are. LTC to the BTC would be nice, right? Bitstamp. Let's see. This is a better chart. There we go. Sometimes I like just going as far as I can, and I know Litecoin has a lot of historical data, but this thing is, this is how the stock market looked back in 2009. It was like everything's down. You can't go wrong. So I think Litecoin's pretty much dead. I would say Ethereum is pretty much dead. Solana is decent. Binance is decent. XRP, I've done a few videos on this one. This is showing a sign of life after they got their little court hearing and settled for 100 million. So I think they got a stable coin coming out. I'll probably do another video next week sometime when they release a stable coin. But XRP is decent. Again, biggest thing you want to look for when you are trading is what is the moving averages doing. Right now we are above water. That means the short and the medium are both trading above that moving average on average. Like when it goes below there, then it goes down. When it goes above it, it goes higher, So that's what we want to look for. So XRP is a decent one, I think, for the long term. Dogecoin, this one has always, it surprised me that it's even in this conversation. A lot of people made a lot of money off Dogecoin. I wasn't one of them. TON, I think this is Kix coin, right? Isn't this Kix coin? Pretty sure. Yeah, the open network. Telegram, sorry. The open network for Telegram. I think this one has some upside. It's relatively new, so it doesn't have the data you like to see or the trends built out already. But also you should heed scenarios like this to where it's a big gap there and then it starts to fall up under it, essentially because you have that cavity. It's a lot easier for it to get filled, so that thing could sell off all the way down to where the whales are buying it up at, just as a natural part of that trend. But when you have the gray area much higher, like especially like Bitcoin's is right now, then that means that the whales are enthusiastic and it has a lower chance of going down because the whales are essentially actively buying it at that price. TRX hasn't done much recently. It's really not too much to talk about with this coin, which is why I don't really talk about it. But ADA is much more interesting. I think this one is showing kind of like that full bell curve, standard normal distribution into a dovetail. This is basically where those big cycles reset at, and you get another amazing buying opportunity. I think ADA, XRP are amazing buys right now. AVAX, Made a little bit of money over the past month. You know, it's like you just got to be happy with what you can get out here. I think I have some AVAX right now. Again, I'm just playing that bell curve and hoping that when it gets on the other side of that thing, it can make a big run to the upside. I think that's worth speculating on. She, you know, it's not looking great. This is not a good setup in the market. I think there's other setups. XRP, ADA, Chainlink. I haven't done a video on Chainlink in like 2 years. Now you see why. It's nothing to talk about. Hold on. Youssef said he just pulled everything off of Binance since they froze all of the accounts. I know. I saw that. Yeah. That's the world we live in, you know? It's like, you know. But at least you know who your oppressors are. It's the only people you're not allowed to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you think about it, like, you can't nobody say nothing bad about them. So I just observe and, you know. I never really used Binance. After I saw they forked it to Binance US, I'm like, oh, that's Uncle Sam. That's the government. Like, I ain't putting no money on there. That's crazy. I'm not doing that. So I've been using decentralized exchanges, and they have a lot of exchanges. I've heard, not saying I have any first-hand knowledge in this, but I've heard if you get a VPN, say Pure VPN or Express VPN, one of those guys, pay them like $10, $12. I heard that you can access some of these exchanges just by saying you're in the Bahamas. And, you know, CoinX or Hit BTC, like, they don't really care for KYC as long as you're not located, your IP address isn't coming from within the United States. So, you know, it might be worth checking out. Maybe you can find a loophole. Who knows? This world is all about creating your own option, creating your own way, right? And when I see a door, I try to create a window. DOT, this one is okay. It's not great. Not great. I haven't talked about it. Probably won't for quite some time. Bitcoin Cash is interesting. I'm willing to speculate on this one because I remember what BCH was when it came out. It was a juggernaut. Pre-fork on the chain, it was like 0.3 Bitcoin. That would be like 20 grand right now, right? It's currently trading at like $200 or $300. So it could be possibly undervalued, 100 times. But nonetheless, I think it needs another solid year, and it needs to break above, 0.01, get 0.01 back in that average. That's like right, once it holds that price and gets to a new threshold, I think this thing could, see some major gains. One of the things you look for is like just coming from this price point. That's a lot of money on the table. That's 200% Bitcoin, 400% Bitcoin, all the way up top, 1200% Bitcoin, right? So, those are pretty cool coins to speculate on. Like, if you're going to gamble, at least gamble at the top of the market where these coins have, the highest probability of receiving some of that money. This is another one, DAI. This had a nice little bubble up down here for the past few months. Doesn't look like much, but already has made 25% over the past 6 months on BTC. Had a huge fall off before that. So once this thing starts to run, that's going to be the first stopping point, 47%. And that'll be the next one, 120%. I have to learn what they do. One of my friends was telling me about this back in like 2022. And he was really, really excited about it back in the day. I think this is when he was telling me, when it was just going up and killing the market. But it's had a huge fall off. And again, it looks like ADA. This looks like Cardano, to where it has that standard normal distribution. It's starting to come out on the other side. And that's when you have a major chance to make some big gains. We up on Fetch. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Fetch. I forgot about that. Fetch.ai. Leo, this one's decent. I just haven't seen it do anything. So I think once, you can get a price point above there, right? Once it starts to get some momentum behind it, then yeah, it can run. Anything in the top 20 can have major gains. We already talked about Litecoin. That's, you know, Ethereum's cousin next to it at the bottom of the Atlantic. Near, and remember, this is what I was saying with these quick sell-offs. Like, right, this is basically what happens when, imagine this point in time right here, right? Near crosses to the down. And like I said, that big cavity right there, empty spaces seek to get filled. So it doesn't have anything to fall back on until it gets bought back into that gray solid area. See that? Like, it literally bounces as soon as it comes in contact with that line, because that's the whales buying it back up. But then once they get word of it, they like, nah, we don't like it either. And then we start selling it. So more than likely, this thing is going to continue to go lower. You might have a local support in there. But still, even at that point, you're going to need time to sit sideways, and that's going to be a few more months. So you want to try to avoid situations where the market is actively selling it, because, again, we don't have enough liquidity to offset, you know, tens of thousands of millions of dollars. So we just go with the trend. It's like when the tide turns, that's when we jump in, right? So yeah, HNT, we could jump on that one. I think I did 1 or 2 videos on this one. Helium, it's pretty cool. Just sold off a little bit, but up and to the right, that's what we look for. So this is against Bitcoin, and I've done 2 videos on it. I believe this thing is up 140% over a month. I think the video I did was probably back early September, right up in there somewhere. If you would have watched it, got in, sold when the 77 goes under on the 343. Wasn't much. I think it was like 12%, 7%, something like that. But that's in a week and a half. And so when the market is dry, it's like you take anything you get. You play small ball, you know. And so I think this one is one of the better setups in the market. XRP is definitely one of the better setups. Fetch gone up to, and Demo, I don't know. Let's see what the charts say about this one. Demo to the dollar. Well, here, let's do this. So one of the things I try to do, first thing I try to do is look to see if this paired with Bitcoin. This one is not. So what I do then is I go to CoinMarketCap and type it in over here. Because this will give you a Bitcoin. It's top 500. So it's like 37 million? Yeah, 37 million market cap. That's crazy how I know that. That's wild. Yeah, that's wild. So it's still a low cap. Like anything under 50 million is a low cap. Probably high risk, high reward scenario. Compare it with Bitcoin. So you can start to see, you can't really draw lines on it. Oh, look at that. Goodness. That's crazy. That's in a month. That's a little bit more realistic. So essentially, where did it start at? Where did it cross? May? Isn't that when Bitcoin sold off in May? Let's see. Yeah, right around that time. So right around the time Bitcoin sold off, this thing started holding its own. No, it started underperforming. But the past month, it's on top of it. Like 40%. That's crazy. That's interesting. I think it's worth a shot. So here. So then now we got to look at the dollar. Because we know Bitcoin is relatively flat, net negative in the past month for dollars. So let's look on it on dollars to see what it looks like. That's not bad. That's not bad. This is a quick chart too, but this is what this isn't bad. If you in on this, I'll just say hold it. Like what I said, it's like that bell curve right there. Once it gets on the other side of that curve, that means the energy's starting to recycle. It's starting to go through it again, and it wants to express itself. Nothing likes to be pent down forever, especially when it's already expanded itself and it knows what it's capable of, i.e. humanity. You know what I'm saying? It has to stretch itself back out again, right? It can only be held down for so long until it realizes its own potential and starts to reach new heights. But yeah, this one actually looks pretty good. I'm gonna have to look into this. I didn't know about it before. I'm not even sure what they do or how they do it. But what exchanges are they on? They're on Binance, 6 million a day, and that's one of the other things you want to look for. I prefer to buy coins when I dip down into some of these coins. I want it to have at least $1 million a day liquidity. That means if I jump in with like $2,000 or $3,000, like I'm not gonna be the one buying up the market. As long as it's got $1 million, you can move like 10 G's in and out with relatively zero resistance to the market. So there's, it's got plenty of wiggle room. Got Binance, Coinbase, got the biggest changes, got accessibility. I think this is a good coin, especially given this price. I'm gonna have to check it out. It's cheap too. It's $5 for $1, $6 for $1. Demos. I don't even know what they do, but yeah, they own Coinbase too. So there you go. That's cool. Let me see. Uniswap, Gate.io. I believe is one of those exchanges that if you got a VPN saying you're from the Bahamas, you might be good. CoinX, one of those exchanges, Bahamas might work. Just saying. Not saying that I know, just saying that I heard it. And, I'm just passing the information along. Do with it as you will. So there you go, everybody. That's the top 20 coins. This was the first live stream in the better part of 2 years. I think it said 9 months was the last time I came on here and did one of these. So if you appreciate this, I most certainly do appreciate each and every single one of you. Do me a favor if you haven't done it already. Hit that like button. That does tell YouTube this is valuable content. I'm going to try to get on here as often as possible. You see, I got to jump back into these books and pick up on these coins. I don't even know what demo is. But if it's helping people make money, then I need to know. So that's the mission. That's the plan. I appreciate you for joining me on my journey. If you want to win some free Bitcoin, again, shout your city out in the comments. And we go pick a winner on Friday. So with that being said, everybody, it's that time of the day. Signing out. Boss. Boy BK, no matter where you stay. Brazil to Bay, California, all the way back out through Germany. Good night, good morning, and good day. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time. Hit that thumbs up button for a player one time. Do that for me if you appreciate mine. Till we meet again, stay cryptic, y'all. Peace.
Like a boss. Huh. Arms.